When it comes to your website, you get what you pay for. And here's why on this Monday Marketing Moment. Hello and happy Marketing Monday. Today I want to talk a little bit about when you build a website, you're really getting what you pay for. Most of the time, I have people come to me and they're asking, well, what should the price of a website be whenever I get one? And it really depends on what you need. Now, let's just say you want a good website with original good content. You want there to be the backend schema that's necessary for indexing. You want everything to be good for SEO. You want to have a website that's going to stand on its own and be a lead generation magnet for you. You're probably looking at anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. And yes, that is a lot of money. Why? Because it takes a lot of time to code everything in, to create the right content, to do the research. But that website is going to be a solid foundation. Now, what I often see is there's companies out there that'll advertise that they'll build you a website for a couple $100. And while some of these websites are okay, one of the biggest challenges with them is a lot of the time there's duplicate content. And what does duplicate content do? Well, it confuses Google. It doesn't allow Google to index the site properly. It'll look at two different web pages and go, wait, there's copy over here on this website by this company, and there's copy over here on this website by this company. And it really confuses the algorithm, and it just doesn't index your site then. And so you're not getting the value out of your site. Nobody's going to be searching and finding your site because the site's not optimized. The other thing that will happen is a lot of the time they won't have the metadata that's behind the scenes or the schema markup. And what that does is that really negatively impacts your SEO. Now, you could drive people to your website with traditional ways of marketing like ads and flyers, but you're even going to see some difficulties when it comes to your paid advertising, because your paid advertising in things like Google's advertising is based on your quality ranker and your quality score of your site. So you're not just impacting your site's organic search results. If you're paying for ads, you're also impacting those paid ads. So what would I recommend whenever you're looking to build a website? I'd recommend, number one, that you see examples of previous works. You ask what their process looks like. You ask what kind of content are they creating? Is it all going to be original copy? Is it going to be some AI generated? If it's going to be AI generated, how are you generating it? How many people are touching it? Is there that human level of oversight? I would also ask, what is your process for your backend setup? What platform are you using? What kind of plugins are going to be available? What kind of flexibility do I have with this site? Because if you're not asking those questions, you might not get what you need for the long term. And I'll say it's better to spend the money up front and get the site that you need and the site that you want, rather than waiting and having a site delivered to you that's suboptimal. I'll give a real world example. I had a client who we started working with, and we started trying to optimize the site, only to realize that we didn't just need to have keywords added in and sentences changed. Every piece of content on the website has to be updated. And because the company that built the website is putting duplicate content, and they hadn't put any of the meta descriptions, and there's no schema markup on the blog templates, and all of these factors that go to impact that client's SEO now need to be addressed. And that wasn't something that we saw up front, because you can't tell that looking at the front end of a site. So if you just want your website to be a brochure for your products that you send somebody to using your URL or through your outreach to them, great. You can use one of those static sites. But I will advise that when it comes to a website, you get what you pay for. Always evaluate the vendor, ask for examples of work, look at their processes, and make sure that you know what you're getting, because you can really end up spending a lot more on the later half after you've already built your site on updating content, on getting the site to index, on having the site's page speed be optimal, because that work wasn't done up front. So, what are your tips for finding the right website vendor? Share them in the comments below. As always, I hope you have a fabulous week, and a marvelous Marketing Monday.